Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Reference Roundtable. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Michael. I'm joined by Lacey and Sarah, and we are librarians who get together every Thursday to talk about books, or sometimes we do special little unboxings. It's always something kind of new and different here at Reference Roundtable. And today, you're lucky enough to join us for one of our little book club sessions. We still don't have a catchy name for these, but
it'll happen.
It's someday. If you have any ideas, please feel free to comment with one. But basically, for this episode, what we do is gather around to talk about a book that we've all read. And for this month, we did something I don't think we've really spotlighted before in Reference Roundtable, but we did a graphic novel from our adult graphic novel collection, and it's Aya by Marguerite Aboué, and the illustrator is Clement Aubrey. These are French names, and we
will butcher them.
Disclaimer.
Guarantee it.
I wish I spoke French. I do not. But it's a coming of age story about these teenagers growing up in the Ivory Coast and kind of just all the trouble they get into. And
very teenager stuff.
Right.
You know? They're going dancing. They're going partying. They're hanging out with boys they shouldn't.
I'm trying to find a picture of the club.
And it's volume 1, right? So
yeah.
It goes on. This is volume 1.
So I actually read this book a long time ago when I was still in New York. And the version I read was not just volume 1. It was like 3 times as thick as this, and it carried the story beyond kind of what this does, but this is the first one, and we have this one here, so you can get yourself started with the series.
And Aya is the main character, just to give you a quick, and she's 19 years old, I believe, when this starts, so she's still at school, I think, at some sort of like college or like getting intro to college kind of classes, so she still studies.
Still kind of learning about the world. The characters are really expressive. I'm trying to find my favorite illustration.
Everyone is very expressive in this. They all just are like.
There's a really
funny.
Good example. Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that this covers that like isn't funny material, but the characters are really like goofy and charming. Like I love this page where one of them's getting in trouble with his mother.
She's just like, she's had it.
Like, the illustrations are really charming.
Okay, we got a comment. Anne says, I'm no teenager, but I love graphic novels.
Oh, good to hear. Yeah, they're really popular.
Really popular.
And I feel like there's a lot of good ones coming out recently. I mean, this one's probably 2008. It's older than I thought it was. But something that's cool about it is it also, at the end, has like what it's called the Ivorian bonus section, and it gives you a little background about the Ivory Coast, the way people are dressed, the slang they use.
The glossary, that was what I found really interesting. Lacey and I talked about this, but we thought it would be helpful to have the glossary at the beginning because there were a lot of words that I just read.
I kept flipping back because I was like, what is this?
I found out what they meant afterwards. So when I gave it to Lacey, it was like, you might want to look at the glossary first.
If you don't know it's there, then it's not much help.
Yeah.
But there's some recipes too for.
I wanted to make, there's a recipe for ginger juice, and I was like, I bet I'd like that.
Can't really see it, but that's the ginger juice recipe. Dance instructions.
I'm not even gonna try it. The dance instructions. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Peanut sauce. So you can kind of step into the world of the Ivory Coast, the world of the story, and if you crave what the characters are eating, you can kind of cook it yourself. They're all kind of troublemakers. But one of the storylines I really enjoy is the son of this really well-off family, and his house is like comically large.
And the color is really cool.
Yeah, the color is pink. And it's like just it sticks out so crazy in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
it's this big, huge pink house surrounded by nothing that looks like it. And he's just like really out of touch. He kind of reminds me of like a lighter version of the affluenza teenager, that one who like killed all the people. Doesn't kill anyone, but he does get into a lot of trouble. And that, for me, was my favorite part of the story. Did either of you have a favorite part? No?
I have to admit, it's probably the third graphic novel I've ever.
Oh, really?
Sarah's not a graphic novel.
No,
reader.
I just don't think about reading graphic novels. So
Yeah.
I read Fight Club 2 only because I love Chuck Palahniuk and I think Fun Home. Have you ever read Fun Home?
Oh, I
Alison
read Fun
Bechtel.
Home.
It was like a memoir graphic
Yeah.
novel. So
She has a new one that came out the last couple of years. I think Secret to Superhuman Strength.
and I haven't read
she's
that
got-
one, but I
she's got a
like
few
really
out there.
enjoyed that Fun Home.
I have never read any of her stuff, but I know she's the one who came up with the Bechtel test for the rule something passes the Bechdel test if it has more than one female character having a conversation with another female character that doesn't revolve around a man. I think that's what it is.
My most recent favorite graphic novel, it's not recent either, but I just have read it in the last couple of years. But we own it, and I forgot what it's called, but it's all about the life of Andre the Giant, the wrestler, and it's just really cute. And it's very it's drawn in a very cute way. Like he doesn't look scary in the pictures; he looks adorable.
Oh.
And so I think that makes it even more fun because he's supposed to be this giant guy, and you're like, you want to pinch his little cheeks.
I think a recent trend in graphic novels too are graphic novel adaptations of classic novels.
Yep.
So if there's a classic that you've never gotten around to reading and you're not sure you really want to sit down and put that much mental energy into it per se, there's To Kill a Mockingbird has a newer graphic novel adaptation, Diary of Anne Frank, Kindred by Octavia Butler. A lot of these books that people have loved for forever are just now getting these graphic adaptations, which is almost the next best thing to a movie adaptation, I think, because it puts images to it. And reading a graphic novel, we learned about this in library school. I forget the exact words that we used, but it activates different parts of your brain and different people talk about how reading fiction builds empathy. Graphic novels build your skills of pairing images with words and contextualizing language. So I think a lot of times people look at graphic novels and think they're just comic books for kids, but it's a valid form of reading, and there's a lot of dare I say really good literature that is in this format. And we have quite a few graphic novels, and that's not to say we don't have the comic books too. If you want to read the Avengers or Batman, Superman stuff,
we have lots of that.
Lots of that as well.
We have a lot of manga too.
Yeah, a really good manga collection. And you'll find them in the YA section as well, I think, for some things. But this one's from the adult section.
Oh,
Let's see. Anne says, "Is it The Giver where you see characters first experiences color?"
You're right. It is.
Yes. Is there a graphic novel with Giver?
I think
That would be really cool.
So they're coming out with even ones that are insanely pop. I think they have ones for Twilight and stuff now too. Books that are everyone has already read. I'm wow, they're just really everything's going to be a graphic novel eventually.
Yeah.
The best graphic novel adaptation I think I've read is kind of a darker story. But do you remember Speak by Laurie Hall Sanderson? They had the Kristen Stewart movie too.
Yeah.
That one came out, she released as a graphic novel adaptation of that in the last 3 years or so, and I actually liked it better than the original book because I thought putting the images with that story made it a lot more impactful.
Yeah. Well, let's see, we got a comment from Harriet also. She says, haven't read one either, but might like this one just for the illustrations.
They are really fun.
I agree. The story was pretty simple and straightforward, but it's hard to explain the visual experience without actually looking at it. So it was more of an experience than a read for me.
Yeah. And this one, it's I think it's roughly 100 pages. It reads fast.
Oh,
Super fast.
I would be surprised if it took you more than an hour.
Right.
Probably under.
Yeah.
And I said, it depends on how much you want to appreciate the images and everything.
Yeah.
It's still a quick read.
I could want to take on the porch or to the park.
Yeah. I actually read it on my porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to, they have these discotheque outdoor parties.
They call them maquis, Maquis. I think that's probably roughly how they say it, but again, I could be totally wrong.
There's a lot of words
and they're
I wasn't familiar with. So.
Yeah, lots of.
But that's what the pictures helped with too, because it was oh, that's what
they're
they mean
at this place,
right? If you go to the Maquis, you're gonna be dancing and wearing your best outfit.
Mhm.
And it's like the rebellious place for them to go. Like,
yeah. Oh, you know what my favorite part was? The cousin. The guy that just kept showing up, like just passing through.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny.
It's definitely like for fans of comedy of manners books, like just a lot of personalities kind of clashing and interacting, and everybody kind of knows each other. I don't know. There's a lot of good character interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it as like, I wonder if it was originally serialized, like as a comic strip, like, because you could do little shorter stories with these characters as well. It's tough because I know like what happens and what these characters like go on to do, and it's hard to like talk about just this first volume without like breaking into that. But
you can, but we have nothing to add to that.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like watching like a TV show over like different seasons, because you can trace the characters as they grow and like reference back to past things. I think there's even like a spin-off of the series for younger readers. I forget the name of it, but I remember we had that in the children's graphic novel section in New York. I wonder if we have that here. I didn't even think to look for that. But yeah, maybe try a graphic novel. I think it's the perfect season to do it.
And there's, like I said, I mean, we said it many times, but there really is something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't interest you, that's perfectly acceptable. I bet you'll still find something.
Definitely. And it's low stakes, right? You don't have to finish the book if you don't like it.
No. And even if you read that and didn't like it, you'll probably spend maybe half an hour.
Right.
You won't feel like I wasted so
No.
much time.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of not wanting to waste time, originally
we
were gonna
share some
divulging it.
details here. We're gonna share some personal details.
So we were going to be discussing a different book. It was a regular novel. It's a newer one that we actually unboxed on a previous episode of Reference Roundtable, and it was The Golden Season by, it's Madeline
K. Sneed.
Madeline K. Sneed, and it's her debut novel, so I don't want to be too harsh. It wasn't very good.
But we didn't end up talking about it, so
I mean, every book has its reader.
I didn't finish it because I didn't want to.
I also didn't finish it.
I finished it.
That's because Sarah's much better.
She's a fast reader.
Well, I don't know. I just like to get things done.
It was more Friday night lightsy than I thought it would be.
It was very like there was a lot of football.
Lots of football.
Lots of Texas, lots of religion,
Mm-hmm.
and lesbians.
Yep.
So
it was the one, if you remember, about the dad who's becoming the head football coach at the small town Texas high school. And I guess this Texas high school football coach position has some kind of morality clause to it. It seemed like, I don't know where.
It was more like they don't want any scandal.
Yeah,
and I guess
like an unwritten kind of code.
Right. And in 2022, in this small Texas town, according to the world of this book, it's scandalous to be related to a lesbian. And his daughter comes out to him, and there's this big, huge production where he kicks her out of the house. Her parents are really cruel to her. It's kind of like every like queer person's nightmare in terms of how they react, which kind of makes it sound more exciting than the book turned out to be, because it was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't really a big production.
Right.
No, it
was
really
very
wasn't.
just like you should probably go.
Right. Like I think he told her that she's going to hell and closed the door and locked her out, and that was early on in the book. But then I don't know, just not a lot happened. It was kind of surface level-y, and we kind of realized, I mean, I didn't know what I would have to say about it. I mean, all due respect to Ms. Sneed, I don't have a book out, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who probably loves it.
For me, it wasn't like poorly written. It just, I was not into how it was written, if that makes sense. Like nothing about the scenery really grabbed me. I don't know, maybe that was because it was all in West Texas, and I just didn't feel any sort of draw. It was just summer, and it was hot.
A quick read, like. That's I don't feel like I wasted too much time on it because it was a quick read and it was fine.
I feel like family dramas, and I would guess, I've never watched Friday Night Lights, go figure, but I would assume if you enjoyed that, you would enjoy this book. And maybe if you're a Texas reader from Texas,
If
It's a
some
lot
part
of
of this
Texas.
story like speaks to you,
Right.
You maybe
If
wanna
could
give it a
relate
shot,
to a part of
but-
it. Yeah.
But we ended up, I mean, Lacey and I didn't finish it. I think I got 40% of the way through according to my Libby app, and I had a moment like, maybe we'll switch up what we do, which was kind of a blessing in disguise because we got to highlight a graphic novel, which
yes.
Yeah.
I liked that better. It was something different.
something different, something that some people probably just don't even realize that we have. And I think, can you get graphic novels on Libby as
Yep.
well?
Yeah.
So if you're more of like an online user of the library, you check out stuff through your phone or your tablet or whatever, you can still use graphic novel or still access graphic novels in the collection. It's they're, it's not something you have to have the physical copy in order to read, just like any other book. So
Yeah.
What's next week?
I don't know yet.
I don't think we haven't
We haven't really
decided.
we don't have a plan yet.
Huh.
So
So next week, we won't be.
I won't be here next week. So I guess
Oh.
it's up to you guys.
Maybe we'll have to do like an interview or something.
We'll figure something out for you. But it'll be different next Reference Roundtable. We won't be doing another book until next month. And I think it's going to be
It's my pick.
your pick. And should we announce it in case anyone wants to read along?
Sure. We're going to read the Three Girls from Bronzeville by Dawn Turner Trice, or Dawn Trice Turner. I can't remember which way it goes, but I did check it out on it as well. It's a really good book, so I hope you guys like it. I think we'll have a
Cool.
lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's a memoir. We haven't done a memoir yet.
Nice.
So I think it'll be a good one.
So if you want to read along with us, you
So
can
yeah,
check
about a
out-
month or maybe even a little bit more, but we'll be doing that in August, which is weird to say.
I know.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, in the meantime, we're going to put Aya back up on the shelf now since we've all finished with it. So if you're interested, you can place a hold on it today. Check it out. Like Lacey was saying, it's a really fast read. It's kind of just a nice one to it's a book you could pick up after a long day and still devote your attention to. It's a fun read. It still covers like some heavy stuff, but I don't know. It's a little bit of everything, and I think there's something in this that would appeal to everyone, which is why I think it's a good graphic novel to focus on if we're talking about that part of the library's collection. So try this one or a different graphic novel.
Yes.
And we will be back same time next week. Well, two out of the three of us will. So you'll
Yep.
see whatever Lacey and I cook up to show you next week on Reference Roundtable. But until then, just keep on reading, Sioux City.
See
See
ya.
you later.